Toyota Vets. More cash.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. It's 1 a.m. in South African time on Sunday morning. Bafana Bafana have just defeated Cape Verde on penalties. Bafana Bafana go through to the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations for the first time since the year 2000 in 24 years. It was truly a typical South African game plan where it largely relies on the attacking team to miss their opportunities, and then through a prayer they're going to go through to the next round. I suppose that's the plan. That's their game plan to get themselves into the final, to win this tournament, if of course it will work. It relies on other people punching and punching and punching and punching and punching and punching, and if they don't deliver the knockout blow, then South Africa, through some luck, even today, they just dragged it to penalties. Cape Verde were much better than South Africa. And I said it during the game that if they don't score and they don't win, they will go to bed crying tears. And that's pretty much what's probably happening now. They will be crying tears that they didn't convert their opportunities. Junior Khanye, my analyst, what did you make of that game, sir?
Kulega ma brother kunjani sithi ngibulisa Justice ngibulisa Benedict Vilakazi ebafethu kunjani, keep on supporting iDiskiTV, fighting no one try to fix South African football. Enguleko kusekuseni man ebuthongo besta. Yeah, no, it's fun. Yeah, again ngizoyiphinda yabona inhlanhla mayisesayidini lakho, either way if ibhaliwe yasayina you win, yabona, you win. If ubhaliwe ezulwini ukuthi uzowina yabona. Ngoba let me start ngegame nje yonke.
Yeah, focus on the game.
Yeah, Cape Verde Nkululeko came to this game, they were very dynamic, approaching this game very dynamic. They press us high, front three yabo. They've got a very skillful team, players who can deal in one-on-one, can take people on. Technically they are so good. Bakwazi control the tempo of the game, badlalile game intensity high. They never rely on most, especially middle. They shift the ball very quick. The ball suga from at the back, and then they get these front three, yabo. And then these guys, they're very dangerous. Bafariti game yabo, they're not predictable. They go central, they go wide, they go left. Number 11, I'm not too sure. Coach, I think he is himself to be playing. No mangabu wafagila manyama sapwaka. I saw the boy, the amfagilo lalagu Benfica. Very good striker, 22 years. They're investing, it's a good investment, especially from Cape Verde, Bafana. But to number 11, mixing with that boy. I mean, these guys, what they did, they analyzed Amakemu Tonke, like a glove. Make sure Umkwena doesn't play. Every time Umkwena receive the ball, there's one player behind him. And Umkwena, knowing him, is not a player that will turn a quick or Khanye somebody when he's behind him. He's a player who turn to when there's good opportunity in front of his eyes. As a playmaker today, quite a quiet game, and Yaya as well, quiet game. Bambiza ngoyayo umchita usithole, and Mshishi as well dropping too much to where finish, and iyobe limit amalo ama I'm surprised the coach might dlala ngomrena now Mrena I think is programmed to be a right back, cause as a attacker kunalana face off to trip people liphuma ngaphansi kwenyawo kwecox, a lapse of concentration. It tells you, I mean, there be good chance, half of a chance to receive Umkwena lapa because we touch shot wale. So ipo la malpuma pants kwenyawo, it tells me less of concentration gumchita. And akakwazi kuzenza space umrena lo mina ngimbonile we Celtics. Anyway, coach, I think it's happy ukuthi badlale a double right back. His system yakhe is approaching ama game too defensive, cause no doubt become a wing back yaka left unqedisa umdawo. If papa ipass umdawo ungena phakathi. These guys, they overload this side like a right, badlala triangle. Not to say when they overload this side they're gonna cross. They play number 10 your supporter, either go and 10 straight. It's just they didn't take their chances. There's so many clear cut chances compared to us. They didn't take it. I think what with bebang speed phambi kwepali basusa iplayer yabo bayiqala ngespeed yafini yabo mabafika ngale ababe compose, and then they miss so many chances. Yeah, Nepali, I think second half thanks God Nepali listening with the goalkeeper, but good touch from Ronwen, very good goalkeeper, a bright future ahead of him. No mangabe umuntu 35. I mean, This guy, it looks like you still wanna play the game. Singatla retire South Africa.
Yeah, I think it's still 32 years old. He saved 4 penalties on penalties. That was insane. He chose one side, saved 2 penalties, or 3 penalties on one side, and he saved on the other side, on the left-hand side, another penalty as well. He won this game for South Africa.
All the games South Africa rely on individual brilliant. The last time Mkwena win us the game, Mkwena Tebogo holding midfield and not the attacking. Where's the attackers? Gule game, I'm gonna say again, the reflection of this, the score is not the reflection of the game. Saipinda. Liana Mhlabe West. I mean Cape Verde. Bona badlaling intensity high. We failed to do that. Ukuthi si reply especially kuma answer uma questions wabo. And labantu laba nkuleka into bebayenza mawungaba check. They didn't give us a space. Tina, we can't play intensity high. Every time our players I think they are too slow, they didn't move the ball quick. Baba giyashukuthi coach bacheli my instruction with I want everybody behind the ball. Just delay these guys until penalties ba frustrate. So you can't rely kuma game winner kanje. He's going to catch up on you. Yeah, compliment to South Africa, Spanige. Compliment to Ronan Williams. I need to be honest.
Yeah, I think the South African public doesn't mind. It looks like gune hype nje yokuthi as long as amajita afika kwi quarter ku semi gune hype. Because if you observe this game, like just look at the fucking game, like with your eyes, you look at the game, you will know that Cape Verde were unlucky in this game. It doesn't matter who won. Cape Verde were unlucky in this game, but the longer South Africa stays in this, South Africa will play 2 more matches now. They will play the semi-final. If they lose in the semi-final, it's about the 3rd and 4th place. If they win, go semi-final, about the final. So they will stay there until next weekend. So for them, it's a win. For the fact that they were not expected to do anything, it will feel like a win that number 1, they got to the semi-final. And number 2, they will be in number 3 or number 4. Gule group, because back with top 4. So Bazo in the 3rd and 4th place playoff, or they will go to the final and be number 1, or have an opportunity to be number 1 or number 2. So with South Africans, they will look at this and say, you know what, we are happy. The plan worked according to South Africans. Of course, the matches, I don't think that they are good. If anyone is watching the matches, they're not good enough.
Yeah, and now I'm happy for South Africans. But if really we want something sustainable, and Swinabanji, I mean, we lying to ourselves. And true, we compliment to the coach. We don't have to be jealous, but individual games, brilliance win games for them. Last time Gwena plays socks off and holding midfield, box to box. Umuntu onlandela ibhola at the back. Where's the attackers? I mean, mina ngibheka ukuthi ama-game abutawu yibe kumele bawinele coach game. But ngibona utawu kulama game hasn't raised his hand. Nothing. Yeah. And you can't rely on Mkwena.
That's because also. It is because you want to tell Abe left wing back. Yeah. Now the thing is, we will go back to this thing you go to. If the plan, Yale coach, is every man behind the ball, also, and I label it as Inkosi Sigelela, you are praying that the opposition doesn't score, and then now like it's not a good game plan. But for now, in the eyes of these people, this nation, they will look at it as it's working because it got them. They will play 2 more matches now. They're not going home anytime soon.
Yeah, anybody, it's opinion. Anyway, we're not gonna change, especially me. The way I see is South Africa the way Lalangakon. I mean, you can't play this way, especially in Cape Verde. These guys, they outclass us. We need to be honest. They dominate this game in all angles. I mean, tactically, technical as well. Chances they created. They are a very skillful team. And Tina, what more? Ila highlights about Fisilo Gamahopasas, Nugutiz Ganjan, but we throw in mistake, we don't know. None other than that says nothing. I mean, we couldn't combine today. Not domination, nothing. Even the build up to Abbas Alawang, Alabantu build up because the pole position sometimes can lie with this build up, Salpasa, a Pequat, Salisemijin, Salbusela, and then the commentators they write the Guti. We dominated the game. These guys they dominate the game. They find themselves in their half, year to Ngama second. And they created chances, they go behind our defense too. Very quick. bamthole umuntu bheka le bhola leli baphasa le ntwana lena 22 a receiver outside alidlala they are themselves to blame, but compliment Cape Verde man, it's a as usual so it is bigger than them in nation yabo, but compliment amanye ama country invest ephonweni. It tells these guys the relationship they created, it's growing. I mean, as a nation, individual players they're playing Amalika top, and it helps the country. Phela la they are unfortunate ama results angasikhohlisi nkuleko. If we understand the game for real uyibukele nkuleko, I la sibe nenhlanhla serious. I mean le ball elishaya ipali ama chance create abantu, we are so lucky, but compliment to Ronwen, the guy is a very very good goalkeeper, one of the best now for me after Khanye. I need to be honest. I wish ukuthi banga South Africa can produce more. Bamqina umchita bangathi retire anytime soon. Yena kube wezo decide and bring other players babone ngaye. Yeah, cause sine tendency ukuthi abanye abantwana ba retire when they are at the best. Compliment to South Africa, they won the game. Compliment to the coach in South Africa. Nambe ngapeka ukuthi was a winner.
Alright, there you go. That's Bafana Bafana going through to the next round. I suppose I think they will play Nigeria in the semi-finals. What this means as well is that South Africa is not going to go home. They will play 2 more matches either way, whether they go to the final or they play the 4th and 3rd place playoff. So yeah, that's the plan. Actually, that's the game plan. Basically, you're just relying on other people to miss their opportunities, and then by some luck, you can score your opportunities. We'll see how far that takes them. Of course, we've been watching these games, hundreds and hundreds of these games in the last 4 or 5 years that we've been shooting these videos. And what's consistent is that your performances predict where you will end up in future. You could lose 5 matches in terms of results, but if you're playing decent football, thoughtful football, creative football, you will end up somewhere doing well. We saw Stellenbosch long time ago that they were always going to win a trophy because of their performances, and they eventually won a trophy. Usually your performances will give us an indicator. It was 2 years even before Stellenbosch won their first major trophy. We saw it when they played against Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns. They were buzzing and they would win matches based on their performances, and they would try and play as well, play on the front foot. So through your performances, we can be able to gauge where you will go in future. But for Hugo Bros, this makes perfect sense. He came into this tournament, he said to himself, how can I get myself into the final? If I play big teams, every man behind the ball. If I win by luck, I go to the next game, I repeat the same thing. And what's fortunate as well is that he has 9 players from one team that he doesn't have to teach his game. He just tells them the instruction. Those players basically are used to playing with each other. So that's a very, very important factor for him to get to this point. But the game plan is very simple. We don't have to create geniuses out of these coaches. It's a very simple game plan. Every man behind the ball. Pesita will be my second left back. Tapelo Morena be my second right back. And then we'll take it from there. And then through a prayer, we'll go through. We'll see. So we'll see whether or not you can win the African Cup of Nations through a prayer. We'll see. And if it does, I'm sure South Africans will go crazy, absolutely crazy. And it will be one for people who are compiling the technical documents. There are a lot of coaches there and former players. They're writing down, how is the team that wins the tournament winning? What kind of football are they playing? Now, if South Africa wins this tournament, they're going to have a headache of trying to figure out how did they win. Because then the technical document is a document that says where is Africa going, which football won this tournament, which kind of football. So then they will have to explain to themselves, oh, okay, this defensive football, and then maybe try to play in the last 15 minutes is the one for the future. I suppose no one is going to adopt that. iDiskiTV, iDiskiTimes, Sports Betting. Thank you for watching us.